Hey guys, so today is Monday and I'm already heading to work. So let's talk about comparison today. Let me share a little story. Yesterday evening, I was actually speaking to a friend, like I was having one-on-one conversation with a friend, and she was telling me about something and how she's actually making money from it. And I was wild and I was shocked. And I was like, oh, how did this thing work? But after the whole conversation and everything, and I felt like, man, what am I even doing with my life? How's my life really changed? But the moral of the story is that don't compare your chapter 1 to someone else chapter 10. Yes, she's getting it all right now, she's getting it fine, and I'm happy for her. But that doesn't mean I should not leave what I'm doing to start focusing on what she's doing. Because if you leave what you're actually doing at the moment to focus on someone else's, what someone is actually doing, number one, you have to learn how it works. Number two, you have to be patient for it to manifest. So why not be patient with what you're actually building at the moment? And that's what really just kept me down. Alright guys, so today's Tuesday and I'm already heading to work. I shared a story yesterday of comparison. So let me give an instance, let me share a little example. Let's say Mr. B start up something and is doing good for himself, and Mr. A came in contact with Mr. B and start comparing himself. Do you know he has lost the game? Because there's a book I read called The Psychology of Money, which says comparison is a game no one win at, and it's definitely a game no one win at. Because when you start comparing yourself with someone, you would stop what you are doing, you would not look and try to better what you are doing because you start looking at someone else. There's a quote I do have. I just said to myself, he says, forget about the world and focus on yourself. Forget about what any other person is doing and focus on yourself. And that's what I'm actually telling myself. I know it's not quite easy. Like, you see yourself struggle. I'm seeing myself struggle, trying to make ends meet, trying to become a better person, but no results yet. But I just have, what do I have to do? If I stop now, I'll still go back to where I was before. If I stop now, I will not be able to get to the destination. Imagine someone traveling, his car got faulty, and he stopped on the journey and just fixed his car and turned back. That means the journey ends there. But imagine that person stood his ground, fixed his car, and kept on moving. Even while it broke down again, he kept on moving. You know that something is certain. That person is going to get to the destination which he or she wants to get to because he or she kept on moving. And the destination is certain, though it might take delay, it might take so many detours, it might take so many trials and errors, it might take so many frustration. But one thing is certain, that person is going to get to the destination. And that's what I'm telling myself today. Forget about what every other person is doing and focus on yourself and just keep moving, keep grinding, keep trying. One day it's all going to make sense. One day it's all going to be part of the story. Was a trade I was looking out for since last week, and it came and took me out. So this was a loss. So yeah, your start has just been doing ups and downs. Even after getting all the criteria, I still enter. One thing I've noticed about myself is that I take action. Yes, I've had ups and downs. I've had moments I doubt myself. The doubt still creeps in, but I try telling myself that it's possible. I still push myself even when I don't feel like. I still try to make myself go forward even when I don't feel like. That's the most craziest thing. Even when I don't have all the answers, yes, I still move. So yeah, I'm not yet perfect with this thing, but um I'll keep trying. And I noticed that maybe this year has just been shitty these days because you get everything right and it still hits SL. So I'm going to move over to US Canadian dollar and see and keep trying. That's what I just know about myself. That's the motto of keep trying. So as far you don't quit, so as far you stay in the game, and I'm trying to stay in the game long. So I'll keep trying till I figure this shit out. Came and rejected and gave and pushed into profit here, but reversed and took me out. Why? Because I got the directional bias from the higher time frame wrong, and that was why I actually hit an L sell on this particular trade. So yeah, so I show up today and also see what it's going to give us.
So this was the trade I was actually looking for. The setup, the trade I was actually waiting for yesterday, but it didn't trigger me in. My entry was at this zone here because of the single candle liquidity here, but it didn't trigger me in, and it just went down. As you can see, it dropped down. So yeah, so I wasn't triggered and I wasn't on this trade because it didn't get to my. This was where I actually set my limit order for a sell, but it didn't get there, and it just dropped with these candles here.
So I'm just done with my side gig now, and had a very successful day. Regardless whether it good or bad, they need to keep moving, and that's what I'm actually doing for myself. It's not as if it's easy on me, it's not as if I have it all figured out, but I just want to keep moving, and so I'll be heading home in a bit. Trade I set a sell limit on yesterday, I took an L on it, and here is the breakdown. I took an L on this trade, and well, I spoke to my mentor. I spoke to my mentor, and she just showed me what I did wrong now. So I'm going to backtest it myself and see where I made that mistake. Like the saying goes, now if man no nine they kill him. If you don't know something, you don't actually know what's happening. So, like I showed you guys, I told my mentor, and she showed me what I did wrong. And now this is what I actually did wrong. Actually bearish. Yeah, the storyline, I got that correct. But this was where the break of structure happened, and this is the single candle formation. Now the mistake I made was I thought this is a single candle formation, then this, and I mark this as an engineer liquidity. But this was how the set was actually played out. This was a break of structure to the downside, the single candle liquidity, then this is the entry. That thing I was seeing as an engineer liquidity, This was it was actually the entry. And see, it came down again after the 4 hour candle close. It came and gave out a confirmation entry, which the confirmation entry of break of structure, liquidity, then closest key level, and see, it dropped. So it actually gave 3 entry. But you see, when you don't actually know something, you don't know the thing, because this thing played out, and I was expecting where I was actually looking for my entry was around here, though on the 30 minutes. But so how this trade was actually gotten was break of structure, single candle formation, closest liquidity, closest key level to liquidity, which is this V shape. Then it still came back after the 4 hour candle closed. It came back, gave a confirmation entry of break of structure on the 1 hour. Though the confirmation entry came on the 1 hour. 1 hour or 30 minutes. See, 1 hour. But let me use 30 minutes so that it's going to be clear. So on the 30 minutes, he gave a confirmation entry. Let me mark it out so you can see it. Okay, this is here. Give a confirmation entry of break of structure, internal liquidity, and closest key level, and he tapped and he went to TP. So yeah, that's just it. So thank God for blessing me with such a mentor that listens, and here's her mentee's cry. Alright guys, so this trade actually hit TP here. But now there's a problem. My broker didn't trigger me in, and I'm going to share it in the next clip so that you actually see that. When I start getting it clear, I feel this is something that is going to keep someone going when they are going to have their downtime. Because remember, downtime doesn't end with you. Everybody is going through challenges in life, but I feel like we are all in a journey, or we are all tied to each other, pushing ourselves to become better. So if someone has seen, and that's why I'm really just documenting this journey, the ups and downs, being honest with everything. Because if someone has seen how someone failed and still was still able to make it regardless of how the situation, they will keep going. And that's why I'm just documenting my journey online. Left alone to me, I would have just keep it to myself and just keep learning and getting better. But I want this to be like a blueprint for someone who is going to challenge, who will go through challenge, and who is still going to go through more challenges in life. That you just have to keep moving. You just have to keep moving. That's just the holy thing, and that's what I'm doing myself. I don't know what's happening next. I don't know how it's going to go next, but I just have to keep moving. Alright guys, I'm going to see you guys later.